Hello, I'm Daisuke, and today I'm going to share my faceplant preset that turns anything into impact sounds. What I mean by anything is that you can turn the sounds like these. Into impact build-up sound, impact sound, and impact tail sound, whatever you want. If you don't need any explanation of the patch, you can just grab the preset in the description and you can download it. But for the people who want to create their own version of the impact preset, you can watch the rest of the video and you can kind of get the idea, and probably you can build your own preset by the end of the video. But before we jump into the steps, let me explain what kinds of sounds are needed for impact sounds. I could totally be wrong, but impact sounds can be divided into 3 parts: build up, aka riser, impact, and tail. Something like this, this, and this. With that, keep in mind you're going to need 3 different samples for this faceplant preset to make your own version. Then, what kind of samples are suited for each layer? Build up and tail share the same principle, so the longer the better they are, like this. And any one-shot sample can be impact sound. Now you understand the concept, let's get into the detail. Alright, let's take a look at the preset I've made. I'm going to explain what those macro knobs do from left to right. And first one is stereo knob. What this does is it controls stereo width of the preset sound, so you can transform the sound into mono to stereo, like this. Like this, right? And since I use this Snapheap preset 2 gens in 1, I've talked about before, and if you haven't watched it, you can watch it later. The thing is that whatever samples you use here, they become mono in this preset, so you have to add stereo width back in using some modulations such as chorus and ensemble, right? So yeah, you have to add those effects, and accordingly you can adjust stereo width. Some people don't want to use stereo, and they are afraid of phasing issues, something like that. So yeah, you can control stereo width. This comes in handy, and as I said, the samples you load here become mono afterwards, going through this Snapheap preset afterwards, so you can essentially use whatever samples you want. It doesn't matter really if it is mono or stereo source. The second one is pitch, and I don't think I don't need that much of explanation, as the name speaks for itself, but it can lower the pitch and raise the pitch however you want. And the reason why I created this knob here is because if you lower or raise the pitch too much, the sample sometimes won't be perceivable, so you have to really careful how much pitch shift you apply. So it could be like 12 semitones or 6 semitones instead. Yeah, it really depends on the source material. It could be too muddy or too high and imperceivable, so yeah. And also you can change the pitch from master pitch right here, and it can create some interesting sounds by changing pitch from here. Yeah, that's it. The third one is impact timing knob. You can determine when the impact happens at 0 seconds instant, 1 second, and 2 seconds later. If you mess up the macros around here, good luck figuring out. and that's pretty much it. The fourth knob is Synth Oscillator FM knob. It essentially reinforces your sound. If the sample sounds boring or weak, you can increase this knob, and this analog or wavetable oscillator will reinforce the sound. I'm going to explain those three macros simultaneously because they are all about filter table located here. And the first one should be this filter table mix knob. It controls mix knob of the filter table, but at the same time it also controls no TT upward compression here. The reason why is because if you apply filter table to the signal, it becomes sometimes weak, so you have to increase upward compression to taste, and if the upward compression knob stays the same, it sounds weird, so it changes over time and it decreases the signal very naturally. So yeah, it is essential one. And the second LFO controls the time of the first LFO, so that if it passes 1 second, it decreases the time, and then it gradually decreases the upward compression instead of this linear decrease. Okay, so the next one should be filter table cutoff. This is pretty much self-explanatory. So the third one is maybe interesting because it randomizes the frame and the phase, also resonances. If you turn up this knob, almost everything in filter table gets randomized. Also, you have to turn up the mix knob if you want to apply filter table. Lastly, this random macro knob. This controls so many randomized modulations, such as phase of the sample and analog oscillator. And also for impact samples, the randomized modulation controls the start position of the sample. If you turn it off, you can get same exact sound every time you play it. But if you turn it up, essentially you won't get exact same sound ever. Almost never you get same exact sound repeatedly. Lastly though, this preset was inspired by the plugin Whoosh by Tonstorm, which also you can load any samples into it and turn them into a whoosh or impact sounds. I don't have that plugin yet, but I see a lot of people using that plugin. I kind of get the idea what it does. I believe my preset and the plugin Whoosh share the kind of same similarities. And because I already have Faceplant, I thought I would replicate what Whoosh does, and I really enjoyed making it. Since Faceplant is very powerful and can do almost anything, you can create maybe impact sounds with normal oscillators and change pitches and randomize stuff extremely and create some unique sounds with it. So don't be afraid to change parameters to extreme settings. And the sounds I showed you today are very squashed and you might don't like it, but you can download the preset from the link below and you can try it for yourself, and I hope you load your own samples and have fun with it.